wrestling fans. My name is Bryan Crazy,
JC Styles,
and we are the F and brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com. We are back with our review of the longest running weekly episodic television show in history. That's right, Monday Night Raw for April 30th, 2012. It was a
solid Monday Night Raw.
It was an incredible night. I mean, you saw how I didn't even have anything to say. I mean, I was trying to think of the correct adjective to describe it. It was absolutely incredible. In the last 24 hours, we've seen the whole WWE universe get turned right upside down.
Yes. Before we get into Monday Night Raw, please check out all of the social media accounts that make up the F and brand, our personal and F and True Twitter accounts, Facebook, and as well as our personal Skypes and the Skype channel of F and True Wrestling. With that being said, all that great stuff will be in the description box, so please check it out. Follow us, like us, whatever you want. It's up to you guys. And let's get right into the Monday Night Raw review.
I think you could have said it better, except please also check out the official website of the F and brand at FightNationWrestling.com. Like JC said, our combined Twitter page at F and True Wrestling on Twitter, and my new Twitter page at BryanCrazy2001. And I think that's enough of self-promotion.
Yes.
Let's talk about the product at hand.
Yes, we start the Monday Night Raw off. We see a video package from the events that happened last night in the main event during John Cena and Brock Lesnar. Then we move into the first segment of the night. We see John Laurinaitis come out talking about the whole show of last night, the main event, ending of the main event. Then brings out Brock Lesnar. The two of them go at it back and forth, and just as he's getting ready to announce that Brock Lesnar is the new face of the WWE, Triple H's music comes out and basically says, Brock, you're not getting all the demands that you got out of John Laurinaitis last week. You want all that stuff, you're going to have to earn it. It will come, but you're not getting all of it up front. The limo and the jet that brought you to and from your house and from the airport to the arena, if you want all that, it's going to come out of your own pocket, not our pocket at the expense of the WWE.
Actually, there was a great tweet during Monday Night Raw. It was I think it was WWE Universe that tweeted this. Anybody looking for a used jet? So I thought that was pretty good. But exactly like JC said, Triple H came down and said, hey, Johnny Ace did not have the authorization to make those deals. It's all null and void. This is where we stand. Your contract was fair.
Yes.
Johnny Ace keeps trying to interrupt Triple H. Triple H keeps saying, hey, John, shut up, shut up, shut up. Then I don't know if Johnny Ace intentionally distracted Triple H, and that led to Brock Lesnar hitting him, or he just kept running his mouth, and it's just the way it went down. When his back was turned, Lesnar took advantage. Exactly. And he took advantage, he sure did. But I do have to say, Triple H really brought it to Brock for a couple of seconds there. He threw in a couple nice rights.
Yeah, I mean, right up until we saw Brock get him in the corner and started doing the shoulders to the midsection, is where we kind of saw the downfall of Triple H. I mean, we even saw Triple H throw a couple of rights when he was in the corner, but lo and behold, we see Brock go for the Kimura and lock it in and tweak back, in which was made to believe that at that point in time Triple H had broke his arm. We find out later in the night that Triple H was taken to a local medical facility, and found out later on that he did indeed break his arm. And I think pretty much that sums up the whole entire segment. So would you like to move on to the next?
Exactly. I'll just add to it just a little bit further, and then we'll move right into the next segment. Like JC said, in the storyline now, Triple H has a quote-unquote broken arm. And halfway throughout the night, I think they kind of mentioned that he had a dislocated elbow as well. I don't know if that is what they're still going with, or if he has the dislocated elbow along with the broken arm. If we get any more information and a projected return date for Triple H, we'll provide you guys with an update either on our website, FightNationWrestling.com, or here on F and True Wrestling. So we go into the next segment. This is where Eve Torres comes out and she announces that there will be a series of Beat the Clock matches tonight. This was a great concept invented by the former general manager of Monday Night Raw, William Regal, in 2008.
I believe so, yes.
But it was the Beat the Clock sprint at that point.
Yeah.
Same concept though.
Yeah.
And we go into the first match. We see the United States champion, Santino Marella. This is a non-title match. Go against The Miz, the former WWE champion. Last year at this time, he was, well, up until Extreme Rules, he was WWE champion.
Yeah. Solid contest. We see The Miz pick up the win with 4 minutes and 18 seconds. He set the tone for the night, which we will see later on as the night goes on. We then move pretty much basically into what was a great match. To end it, we see The Miz go backstage and wait to see if anyone else would beat his time later in the night. We then go into the next segment.
Then we move into the next match. We see the WWE Divas title on the line. It is a three-way dance. Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, and the returning Layla, who last night at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, for you guys that did not get the chance to see it or see our review of it, Layla returned, dominated, decimated, and became the new Divas champion. And last week on Raw, SmackDown, and at the pay-per-view, we got great Divas matches. Tonight, unfortunately, we got a little bit shorter of a match, as the Bellas were kind of arguing in the corner. We see Layla go for a dropkick, quickly roll up one of the Bellas, 1, 2, 3, pick up the win. I really wish we would have got to see a little bit longer match. There is a lot of rumors floating around on the internet right now that the Bella Twins have not re-signed their deal with WWE, and WWE currently has an article posted that they have, quote-unquote, released the Bella Twins from the WWE, so I think that's excusing them not re-signing their contract. I think it's a shame, because as they proved last week, they do have some decent wrestling ability and some athletic talent. And if they're given the time to show it, the Divas division could be something absolutely phenomenal. But if you only give them minute-long matches, this fan, and plenty of other fans aren't going to be interested. We're interested in solid wrestling competition.
So we see Layla successfully pick up the win and retain. We're not going to dwell on that match too much. I really don't have anything to add to that, because I was kind of disappointed that the match didn't go longer, like Bryan said. Chris Jericho comes out, and we wait for his opponent. As we go to commercial, we come back, the Big Show walks out. Now, this was a great match. It was definitely a step up from last night's kind of Intercontinental Championship turmoil that we saw, where Big Show was kind of basically self-explanatory, screwed out of the title. But in a certain way, he did go through the table.
He did go through the table. I mean, that is the rules of a tables match. If you go through the table, that's what happens. Would I have liked to see the match go longer? Yes. Do I think Cody Rhodes and the Big Show could have shown more? Yeah. Yes. I'm not gonna lie about that. But for what we got, it was okay.
Yeah. So then we see a pretty good match. We're getting closer and closer to the end of the match. As we hit 20 seconds, both superstars spill out to the outside. We see the two brawl it out, and as Big Show went for the last desperation move, Jericho kind of ducked under and kind of tried to weasel his way into the back into the ring so Big Show could take the count out and he could beat the clock. But as the referee was hitting 9, the clock hit 0 and the buzzer rang. There was a lot of disputes that Chris Jericho won and that he was going to go on, but we come back from commercial and we see that the situation had been assessed and that we saw neither competitor answered the beat the clock, and we didn't see, it was basically a tie. They didn't tie The Miz or beat The Miz, so therefore we move on to the next match with The Miz still holding the 4-minute and 18-second tone for the night.
And currently going on to the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, but that is going to change a little bit later on in the night. But like JC said, neither competitor were able to beat that time, and it isn't tie the clock, it's beat the clock. Even if Chris Jericho did tie 4 minutes and 18 seconds, he wouldn't have beat that time.
Exactly.
So then we go into the next match. We see the Funkasaurus Brodus Clay go one-on-one with JTG. And JTG is...
I have a question. I had just one question before we...
Shoot. Fair enough.
Brodus Clay is the Funkasaurus. Does that mean that Hornswoggle is a Funkaraptor?
Oh, they had a name for it. The girls are Funkadactyls, and Hornswoggle was a... Crap.
If you guys know the answer to this question, please leave your comments in the comment box.
You had to put me on spot, right? I mean, I already had, 5 pages planned out here to talk about, and you had to put me on spot. All right. No, but we go into the match. I mean, JTG, this is a big guy. I mean, he's no joke. Got good muscular tone, pretty large in stature, and the Funkasaurus acts just make quick work of him. I mean,
JTG was part of one of my favorite tag teams. They represented my hometown of Brooklyn, New York, and I was definitely behind them. I would have loved to have seen that tag team kind of excel in the WWE, but they decided to take a break up the team and excel one and leave the other in the dust, kind of like what they did with the Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty back in the 90s, where they excelled Shawn Michaels and then Marty Jannetty was kind of left in the tag team division, where we saw different in reinventions of the Rockers, but then we see Marty Jannetty leave the WWE, but make several appearances over the years. But that's beside the point. We see Brodus Clay pick up the win, make quick work of that, and then post-match we see Brodus, the Funkasaurus, bring some of the local ringside fans into the ring and dance, which that's a memory that the WWE always likes to do. Is they always like to involve some of the wrestlers, some of the fans with some of the attracted, entertaining wrestlers. And that's stuff that those kids are gonna remember for the rest of their lives.
Exactly. It was a great thing for the WWE to do. You could tell those kids were absolutely happy to be in there, and Brodus Clay was happy to be able to provide that bit of entertainment to those children. So we move on to the next segment. Eve is backstage with Teddy Long and Laurinaitis. Eve says Teddy's presence is annoying Laurinaitis and tells him to leave. Eve tells Laurinaitis to sit down and calm down. Laurinaitis is upset. Eve says that he has lost Lesnar. Lesnar is gone from the WWE, which I have a feeling Brock's going to be gone for a little bit, but he signed to this deal, and Triple H is going to make him come back and make him face up for what he did tonight.
Yes.
And there's going to be a match between these two, and I can't wait to see it happen. There's a lot of talk on the internet right now that Lesnar's going to end up facing Orton at the SummerSlam pay-per-view, but in my honest opinion, Triple H, Lesnar...
That was the match we were supposed to get in 2002, I'm sorry, when Brock beat The Rock and won the Undisputed Championship. We were supposed to see Brock Lesnar defend the Undisputed Championship at the next pay-per-view against Triple H, but Stephanie went behind the scenes and tried to sign Brock to an exclusive SmackDown contract, which led to Eric Bischoff having to give bring back the WCW World Heavyweight title. At that time, it was the WCW, and then they transitioned it into the WWE World Heavyweight title, which is currently being held by Sheamus. And that's how we got the two different branded world champions. We got Brock on SmackDown as WWE champion, then we had Triple H on Raw as the World Heavyweight title as he was getting ready to form Evolution.
Exactly. Triple H was the #1 contender. Brock Lesnar did not want to fight. Well, didn't want to fight him in the exclusive contract thing, and he was awarded the title by Eric Bischoff. But then we go into the next match, Randy Orton versus Jack Swagger, and we see Randy Orton pick up the win over Jack Swagger, and he's only got 2 seconds left on the clock. 4 minutes and 16 seconds is the new time that needs to be beat to go on to the Over the Limit pay-per-view and face CM Punk, who is the current WWE champion after his victory last night against Chris Jericho. Then we go into the WWE Tag Team title match. We see the defending Tag Team champions, Epico and Primo, who have been on a roll. They have pretty much answered any competition, and they've defeated most of them. I think they've lost a few matches along the way, but all non-title because they were the champions going into this.
Now, it was a great match, fantastic match. I was glad that we got to see Epico and Primo showcase their talent, and we got to see R-Truth and Kofi. Now, originally, I believe this match was probably suspected to be Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston reuniting as Air Boom and to pick up the titles, but with Evan Bourne's recent injury and him, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to let you guys know, we and Bryan both did a update on that later weeks ago when it was announced. Now, he broke his foot in 2 different places and dislocated, I believe, in 5. And from what I've read, it was a very serious condition, a very serious injury.
I saw a picture of him in that. I mean, guys.
Plain and simple, it is a very, very grueling injury that could sideline, if not indefinitely retire superstars. That is an injury that is, very common in football and other major sports. And Evan Bourne got one.
Well, with that level of complication, it's a lot more than just a normal injury. I mean, like JC said, this could end up sidelining him from wrestling permanently. But this was a great match. We saw R-Truth and Kofi Kingston go against Epico and Primo. There was a lot of back and forth action, and right as you thought that Epico and Primo had it won, they get the job done. R-Truth and Kofi Kingston become the new WWE Tag Team Champions. Kind of a surprising twist. Like JC said, could this have originally been the push that was destined for the team of Air Boom? Or there's been a lot of talk on the internet in the last week that they've been considering putting the tag team titles on Titus O'Neil and Mr. No Days Off Darren Young. So
I actually downloaded them in WWE 12 off the WWE 12 Xbox 360 Community Creations, and it was just.
Can you hold
fun.
my notes for 1 second?
It was definitely fun playing as them.
Okay. You remember how you asked me a question a little while ago? What is this?
I don't know.
What is it?
But he's still a talented wrestler, I have to say.
Hell of a talent. But I don't get it.
Well, actually, it's more like I don't know, but that's the best I could do. But I definitely would have liked to maybe have seen see the Usos involved in this match as well. I mean, Usos are definitely up and coming as well. You guys know, if you've watched this since WrestleMania, since even before WrestleMania, I've been very high on the Usos, and I definitely wanted to see them get that title push. But that's a topic for another video. We then move into another Beat the Clock challenge with Kane and the Great Khali, which we see another no contest to the Answer the Clock match. It was one of those really slow-paced matches.
It was a slow-paced match. I mean, you had Great Khali, who's a pure giant. You have Kane coming off of, you know, 2 very high-profile matches. Kane is getting up there in age, and, you know, he's starting to wind down with his appearances in his career, but Kane is still a talented wrestler. Don't take anything away from him. And real quick, we do want to just, you know, drive the point home, the message of the effing brand, and what me and JC truly believe in, that you can like whatever wrestler you want. We like what wrestlers we like. Trust me, I can list a name of talents I haven't liked over the years.
Just like some people prefer the Green Lantern, some people prefer Superman.
Exactly. But the thing about it is we get to choose who we like. But at the end of the day, regardless if you like the persona or not, if these guys go out there, and put on a good performance for us, we should respect the athletes. They go out there, they put their necks on the line. At the end of the night, they could be paralyzed. Now, if a guy goes out there and puts on a piss poor performance, then you can say something. But in the Great Khali's case, he's not a cruiserweight. I mean, he's a big brute. He's a brawler. And these two go back and forth. And like JC said, no contest here. And I really like, though, that Great Khali looked strong tonight. Great Khali's looked very weak as of late. Yes. And having him look strong against the Big Red Machine Kane, I think, was the right way to go. Then we go into the final beat the clock match of the night. We see Mr. Yes! And guess what, guys? I've been a huge fan of the American Dragon for quite some time now. I was starting to get a little stale on his persona, I'm not going to lie, with the whole AJ hiding behind her storyline. Yes. But since WrestleMania, he has been reinvigorated. He has been on a roll, and we're going to get right to the point. He goes one-on-one with the King, Jerry Lawler.
At Jerry Lawler.
On Twitter. And he defeats him. Yes. For you ROH fans out there, this is going to be an incredible match. The old ROH. The new ROH ain't bad, but it ain't what it used to be. Yeah. And we're going to see Daniel Bryan go one-on-one against the WWE Champion CM Punk at the Over the Limit pay-per-view.
Yes, it is definitely a match that I've been wanting to see for quite some time, since the two had their one-on-one match, champion versus champion, earlier in the year when they both picked up the titles at late last year when we had them team up. It was definitely a match that we wanted to see. Now we're getting to see it. WWE Championship on the line, Daniel Bryan versus the current defending champion, CM Punk. And it's definitely a match that we are going to order. So,
and I do have to just interject something real quick. I want to get this wrapped up and get this up for you guys, so you guys can leave your thoughts. That's what makes this so great. Please leave your comments below. You got to hear our thoughts. We want to hear yours. But the biggest thing is, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, the landscape of the WWE has changed so much in the last 24 hours. I mean, I never expected Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk at the next pay-per-view, and I really didn't expect the situation with Triple H, and I really didn't expect what we get next. We see John Cena come out. John Cena's going to make his comments about last night, and he talks about it, and he says, hey, I might be hurt, but I'm still here. He reveals that he's had some MRIs, he's had an X-ray, and it's shown the damage isn't that severe. It's strains, there's no tears, there's no broken bones. Out comes John Laurinaitis. Laurinaitis is going back and forth with him. John Cena's basically just teasing him, trying to get under his skin. This is where Laurinaitis announces that his opponent's about to come out. We see Sakamoto and Lord Tensai make their way to the ring, and when you think that Lord Tensai and Sakamoto have John Cena cornered, guess who attacks him? Johnny Ace from behind. Yes. Cracks him with the microphone, and you could tell that Johnny Ace, one of the best wrestlers ever to wrestle in Japan, from the Americas, still has it. I mean, his kicks, his delivery with his kicks are absolutely beautiful. I mean, Hulk Hogan, wrestling legend, but when it comes down to it, a guy like Johnny Ace, a technical wrestler who performed over in Japan, and the Japanese environment is way different than here in Americas. I mean, Johnny Ace has better delivery than a guy like Hogan, and I hate to say it, Hogan's great for his talent and what he's done for wrestling, but we've all known that Hogan's punches and Hogan's kicks are always been
just to put my thoughts on it, I thought it was definitely suiting to see what happened.
But we forgot to tell them the biggest thing.
Well, we got to see John Laurinaitis versus Extreme and John Cena versus Over the Limit.
Yeah, the match I wanted to see last year was Johnny Ace versus CM Punk, but this will do.
This match is probably going to be a quick 1, 2, 3, you know, depending on the situation. You know, there's going to be a lot of probably outside chances at outside interference from Laurinaitis' cabinet, David Otunga, and, you know, Eve Torres as well. So, guys...
Well, I think his personal henchman, Lord Tensai, is probably going to play the biggest part in that match at Over the Limit.
But, guys, enough of what we thought of this Monday Night Raw. Now it's time to hear what you guys have to say. Please, we're not going to do our normal intro tonight. We want to get this out there for you guys. Please leave your thoughts and opinions on Monday Night Raw in the description box, what you guys thought. Can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. Please stay tuned for tomorrow. We are going to attempt to sit down and do Q&A before I head to New York for a couple of days to visit some family.
But that depends on you guys. Please go to our return of Q&A promo here on this page, F and True Wrestling, and leave your questions. Once we get your questions in, me and JC Styles can sit down and produce that video for you guys. Like JC said, we're not going to go on too long. We want to get this up for you guys so you can leave your thoughts. But closing, please check out the official website of the FM brand at FightNationWrestling.com. Check out my new site, Fight Nation Wrestling, on YouTube, and also check us out on Twitter, and also like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/FandTrueWrestling. Thank you for checking out this video. Thank you for being loyal fans and subscribers of the FM brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com. My name is Bryan Crazy.
JC Styles.
Have a great night, and hopefully we'll catch up with you tomorrow.